So, welcome. I am Eva Clark, and this is part 2 of our series exploring the many reasons why our clients' symptoms won't completely heal. If you haven't explored part 1, I would advise you to start there as we establish a few assumptions about disease that we are going to be elaborating here in the other parts of this series. So now for part 2. The cause of the symptoms still remains in their lives or is just getting re-triggered over and over. Remember, we are presupposing that disease and symptoms have meaning. And here, the reason why, no matter the technique you use, the symptoms aren't improving considerably is because the reason for the symptom is still in your client's lives. Let me give you an example. A client comes to you because they have insomnia. They've had it for like 10 days and they want to get rid of it. But they don't address the cause of the body putting insomnia in place. See, insomnia, waking the person up like at 4 a.m., is actually giving the person this nice big chunk of time when there are no other distractions so that they can resolve their stuff. Okay, so let's say in this case, your client made a not so good financial decision at work and he's been trying to sweep it under the rug. And so his body keeps waking him up so that he actually sits down and deals with it. And so even though you give him these great hypnotic techniques to fall asleep and to stay asleep, they might not work as effectively because the body is still trying to help your client resolve this problem. I always say, what a better time than at 4 a.m. when there are no distractions to resolve your stuff, right? Another issue are symptom triggers. Perhaps the event that caused these symptoms is mostly resolved, but the body's now become sensitive to things that remind it of that terrible event. And so what it wants to do is keep you as far away so that that can't happen again. I'll give you an example. I had a client who had a severe cat allergy. It turns out that he had a terrible, terrible divorce right before getting this cat allergy, and his now ex-wife unexpectedly got custody of the 2 cats and the dog. And now he finds that any cats will actually set him off and give him this severe allergic reaction. Why? Because the body is trying to keep him away from a similar event. Another example, one of my clients with MS, she had for a nice good year before her symptoms, she was in the internship from hell in a health clinic. So now, a few years later, anytime she goes to a health clinic to get a prescription or anything, she will actually notice that her symptoms act up. So what techniques do we use here? First, I always say, be curious. Interview your clients. What happened before the symptoms started? If it's something like MS, it's usually a buildup in the body way before the person really senses their first symptoms. So you want to check a year before the symptoms start. If they've had their symptoms for decades, 20 years ago, your client's probably going to tell you that their life was perfect and the only thing that is a problem is their symptoms. But if you use regression therapy, you will help them understand that actually life during that time had some stuff that they need to resolve. For those automatic triggers, I describe these like, it's almost like when you think of a war veteran. He's come back to the United States, he's fine, he's redone his life, but anytime a news, a helicopter, news broadcast, a helicopter passes by, his body clenches up. And it's because his body is fearful that a war will come on again, right? That there will be another bombing. And that is the same way as I see symptoms that get re-triggered. Your clients' physical bodies will be re-triggered by things that remind the body of that event that caused the original symptom. It can be a place, like this health clinic. It can be a thing like cat dander, people, tones of voice, emotions, smells, hello mold, foods, hello gluten, right? Here I actually use the NLP allergy process, and it actually works really well with these triggers. If, of course, the situation is no longer in their lives. If it's still in their lives, that boss, that financial problem, whatever that is, you want to help your clients gain resources to deal with that situation so their body doesn't have to do it for them. Then it's very easy to eliminate those triggers. So I hope to see you with the part 3 of this series on the things that block healing. And we will be talking about the powerful locking effect of the symptom diagnosis. See you soon.